Sixers Wire. Just Daryl, Doc, just can you just kind of speak on the new additions, like how you think they fit in with you guys, like PJ, D'Anthony, Daniel, just what did you really like about their games and how you kind of anticipate them fitting in with the team?
Me? I think they all will fit in well, Each one of them, like, fulfills a need in a lot of ways, shooting, just PJ's leadership and his toughness, D'Anthony Melton's, can play dual positions, great defensive player, great hands, toughness, So, yeah, I thought we had a targeted summer, and we hit pretty much what we were looking for.
I would just add, one thing Coach identified that made things challenging in the playoffs especially was, the lack of players who can play both sides of the ball, which become more important during the playoffs. So that was a big priority for Elton and myself.
Paul Hudrick, Liberty Ballers. Daryl, obviously you have a very long relationship with James, and he's a guy who doesn't want to miss time, doesn't want to not play games. Is there a conversation, or do you think he's kind of in the realm now that he's 33, coming off the long injury, that maybe he does have to take it a little bit easier as far as maybe like load management and things of that nature?
We have a great, performance medical staff led by Simon and his team that he's built up over the last 2 years. We have a lot of confidence in, and between Coach Rivers and Simon, they have a plan for the season, and we're not going to prescribe or proscribe exactly what's going to happen, but know that our focus is on building towards our ultimate goal, which is a championship.
Gina Mizell from the Philadelphia Inquirer. Daryl, even starting with James, you obviously have brought in players that you've worked with in the past in Houston. Just what was it about these specific guys that made you want to say, okay, these are the types of players and people that I want to reunite with and bring to this team as well?
Well, working with the coaching staff and the front office, which is a wide group, and we like to take a lot of input. You look at the array of options, and it just frankly happened that a lot of the options that were available. Both Coach Rivers and I have been in the league for quite a long time, so there's going to be quite a few players that we've worked with that are available. And obviously with Trez, really Sam Cassell had a really key role along with Doc in getting him here, and they've worked with him in the past. So look, we were focused on two-way players, guys who could help us towards the ultimate goal. And, it's made some funny headlines that they happen to be ones that we've worked with in the past. But, that's really just for entertainment purposes for you guys.
Mike Sealski, also from the Inquirer. For Daryl, PJ's 37. He had signed a 2-year deal with Miami, and the Rockets had kept him on a 1-year deal in 2020. Why confident enough to give him 3 years at age 37?
Well, we're focused on winning, and look, I think anyone who's counted out PJ in the past has been wrong. Throughout my career, I've had him before, like we just talked about, and people back then were wondering, can he contribute? And he's been contributing at a high level for quite a long time. We wanted to make sure we got him here. The market sort of dictates how that works. But we know that he can contribute in so many ways, both on and off the floor, that we're confident over his time period he's going to be a huge positive.
Daryl, Austin Krell, The Painted Lines. Last season, Cleaning the Glass estimates that you guys were 13th in offense and 11th in defense. How do you feel you've addressed that need? Because most teams typically that are elite are in the top 10 in both categories. And then number two, from what you can share, what is the latest with the P.J. Tucker investigation?
Why don't you take the top 10, David, then I'll handle the investigation.
Well, we really look at the time that we had with James. I think we're number 2 in offense and number 13 in defense, I think, if our numbers are right. So that's why we were confident. That's one of the reasons we wanted to make sure we got James back through a full season and then add guys. So we think we've added to our team offensively. We do think we have to do a couple things better, obviously. but we're very confident offensively. We have to become a better defensive team.
On the NBA investigation, it's ongoing, so I can't comment. Sorry, I should have just said that. But my worst answer of the day.
Dan Gelson, Associated Press. Daryl, just on that topic, I mean, what kind of changes do you think the league needs to make to kind of address some
You're
of these
really
issues?
trying to get me fired.
Well, no, it's just in general. Like, I mean, there's
Tell them what you
topics.
really feel.
Oh, yeah, I'll tweet it later. The league offices does an amazing job.
Hey, Noah Levick, NBC Sports Philadelphia. Doc, Daryl mentioned you won in Montrez here. Just what are your expectations for him, and how do you see the backup center spot overall heading into the season?
Yeah, well, this is the first year we don't have a 7-footer, as a backup. We had Dwight and Drum, but we have a collection of guys with PJ, Paul Reed, Trez. We feel very comfortable in that row, and obviously with PJ's age and Joel with his size, and we want to make sure he's healthy. We want to do a better job on the games that some of those guys don't play. We want to win those games, and so with the collection, we feel very comfortable with what we have. I don't know if I answered that directly, but yeah.
For either one of you guys, Gina myself from the Inquirer again, just Joel and James both coming back. Joel healthy, James also with the hamstring. Just what have you guys observed in these weeks leading up to camp that, as far as how they're looking and sort of being able to go?
They've had a great summer, both of them, all of our guys. Spent time together, not just those two. The entire team spent time together this summer. I think we had 15 of our 16 guys playing in the gym in the middle of the summer in L.A. On their own, So a lot of good things happened. James put in just a ton of work this summer. So, yeah, we're very happy where everybody is right now.
I appreciate Furkan came up with a way to work on his toughness in the offseason. So it's a hard one to come up with an idea there.
For both of you, does this, to you, with the collection of talent you have, feel like a championship or bust type scenario?
I don't even know what that is. I mean, is that every team in the NBA? Like, is there 7 or 8 other teams with that same, belief? I believe this is the best talent I've had since I've been here. What that means is what it'll become. We have to become a team. Having a collection of individuals is great, but that says nothing about a team. And so for us, we have to learn how to become a team first. And if we do that, I love who we are, but I'm not going to sit up here and make some crazy prediction.
Mike Sealski from the Inquirer again. To both of you guys, looking back at games 5 and 6 against Miami, have you gotten a better sense in the months since exactly what went wrong there? And
yeah, listen, we're down 2-0. We didn't have Joel, so we were playing from a deficit. Sometimes the other team could be better, and you have to face that reality as well. So sometimes you can lose and nothing goes wrong. We didn't do a couple things. We didn't make shots. We didn't rebound. P.J. Tucker destroyed us in that playoff series. We added him to our team. So there were things that clearly, it wasn't just game 5 and 6. Game 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 for us that we'd have liked to have done better. We'd like to make more shots. We'd like to have more stops, but we'd like to rebound better. But we've studied it all. It's not just 2 games, though.
Question kind of a little to the side here. Your medical staff, were you happy with those people from last year that you've had before?
Very happy.
Why did you change?
Just be direct with your question. I don't know what you mean. Sorry.
Why did you changed your medical staff, right? You changed your medical staff. So why
Gotcha,
did you change?
So Simon leads our medical staff. That's why I was confused. Now I understand the switch to Penn Medicine, which we're very excited about. Look, we get the best care for our players. We're excited what Penn can bring, the resources they can bring, in it, added to Simon's team. So for us, it's just, we saw it as just additive.
Was there a financial part of that decision, or how much was there a financial part?
We're focused on what they can bring to us. Yeah.
Marcus Hayes, Philadelphia Inquirer. One of the more remarkable developments during the playoffs last year, maybe down the stretch too, was sort of a change in attitude and approach by Tobias Harris.
Yeah.
Tobias was the guy who was talking about needing to be tougher, needing to be more focused, especially in the playoffs. Did you witness that change, and what do you think brought it about?
Man, I don't know. I thought he was, and you're saying it, but I thought he was wonderful. I thought it started the last couple of months of the season. It's almost like he had a self-look at our team and led through the buy-in. Like, I'm going to buy in. I'm going to be a star in my role. I'm going to teach all the other players that you have to make some sacrifices if you want to win. You come into this year, he probably has to lead the team in that again. He just put himself in a great mental place for our team and in a great leadership place for our team. And it was just from a coach, it was great to see, and now he has to do it again. You never know what a guy. I wasn't surprised by it. I definitely pushed for it. We had a lot of sit-down talks on the road, in my room, and here in my office about it. Like, I always have this thing with our guys: you go first. Everyone talks about what we should do. Like, we should do this as a talking player to coach, and I said, well, you start it. You do it first. And he literally did it. And it's unusual that it's such a click in the middle of the season, and he did it. And so I think that helped him this summer because now he knows what that looks like and feels like. And I thought it was great for all our young players.
Rich Hoffman from The Athletic. After the Game 6 loss, I felt like a lot of your players were pretty frank about how they felt the Heat were tougher than you guys were last season. It was kind of interesting that they would come out and say that. I guess for you guys this year in the offseason, like, how much did you factor an intangible like toughness, which I would imagine physical and mental toughness are kind of two different things, and kind of how much did that factor into what you did this offseason?
Big part of the decision making, obviously, I'd say number one is we wanted to get two-way players, but that's a lot of that toughness comes into that. Being able to fight and get a key rebound, like Coach said. Just when things are down, having that mental fortitude to pull everyone together. That was a big part of a lot of our acquisitions this summer. Absolutely.
Dave Uram from KYW News Radio. This is for Doc. What are your expectations for Tyrese this season?
Listen, he's put in the work. I'm not really as focused as on individual expectations as probably you guys are, because you have to write about it. I'm more focused on team and trying to be the best possible team. So on Tyrese, I just feel like he'll play a big role in that. And his growth, the work that he's done with Sam and my son Spencer has been amazing. Between him and Paul Reed and Matisse, I don't know if any of those guys, no one has outworked those three guys. I can guarantee you that. And, that doesn't guarantee. You can put in all that work and you still need another year for it to come through. But he's done everything more than we've asked him to do.
Were there any instances this summer where you had to ask Tyrese to stay out of the gym?
Oh, many times. Sam called me probably 10 times. My son even rang my doorbell one time with Sam. They wasn't invited, is what I'm saying, to my house, but they came to have a sit down about calling him, making him shut it down. But man, it's hard to shut a guy down like that. It really is. Paul Reed too. I mean, it's kind of hard, but they're young, and you kind of let them do it.
Doc, a little bit of an off-topic question, but I feel like your perspective is valuable here. Just what was your take on the Robert Sarver situation, both the NBA investigation and then him deciding to sell the team?
It kind of played itself out it seems like the right results. You know, I will say that when it first came out, I didn't read a lot about it. I was busy trying to get ready, and then when it really hit, you start reading about it. And you know, we have an unbelievable job. Like, it's a privilege to be in the NBA. It really is. You guys cover it and you see it, but I don't take that lightly. As a coach, as a player, I didn't. It's a privilege, and there's standards. And so I like where it ended up.
Coley Harvey, ESPN. Doc, you mentioned a couple times the building of a team. That's something that you're more focused on right now. I'm curious, how do you do that at this stage of training camp, and how do you think that you're going to be able to do that here at this
You do it every day. I think of all the things that I think most people miss is team building. Every team. I mean, you watch Golden State, they're a bought-in basketball team. Every team that has won a title, I've been fortunate enough to coach a team that has won a title. I've been in the finals, and you don't get that deep unless it's 100% bought in. You have no chance in this league if you're not. If you think you're just going to do it with talent in this league, you're nuts. And so the players who decide to do that right are the teams who win, and the teams that don't, they're not going to win. It's just 100%. That is it. You can look at all the stats, and that's 100% every year. And you visually, if you watch, you can literally see it. So that's going to be a big part of us.
I was just going to say, we're excited to be going away for training camp because we really think it helps coach and the players focus on just doing that team building 24/7 as we move into the season.
Sam DiGiovanni, Clutch Points. Where are you guys at with contract extension talks with Matisse Thybulle? How far do you guys expect him to be on the team, and how it was reported that he's been working very hard, and obviously, Doc, you just said it. How excited are you guys for him this upcoming season?
I've never met Clutch Points, so I'm excited to have you here. I always see the headlines. I would say that the talks between any player and us on contract we keep between us and the agent and the player. So.
Thanks, guys. All right.
Thanks, guys.